Good morning, guys, and welcome to the show. Today we're in a car that has something that, well, is typically in a car. Our good friend here, Herman, has done some magic, and today we're going to find all about it. How exciting is that? Is it exciting?
It is.
It is. Stay tuned. Good morning, Herman. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
You look a little bit tired.
I'm very tired. I need a little bit of caffeine, a little bit of sugar, a lot of sugar, and I'll be all set and ready to go. Today we're going to talk about something that you were tasked to do for the MasterTech Expo. But before we do that, you've never been on the show in this capacity before. We've panned past you a couple times at some of the events we've been to. I thought I'd give you the opportunity to introduce yourself.
Okay.
So, who are you and where do you work?
Well, my name is Herman. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I moved into the States a year and a half ago. Work at Sound Innovations in Union City, California as a shop manager, and also for Orca doing training for you guys, and also to product development. We're coming up with some new products this year that I've been helping the guys to develop. We're doing a bunch of stuff with 3D printing this year for all the new products. So that's kind of that's what it says on the paper.
That's what it says, and he's a really knowledgeable individual on how things should sound, function. It's really quite cool. This particular challenge that was thrown at you was to develop an Atmos system inside of a car.
Correct.
We all see it as the future, and so you're jumping the game.
You see it everywhere now. You see it on your AirPods, headphones, laptops, soundbars, TVs. We're also seeing it in factory vehicles now. This is where it all started. We did a Lucid vehicle like a year and a half ago, one of those EVs that are made here in Arizona, and they come with Dolby Atmos from factory. And when we started with the car, I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. And when we finished the car and tuned it with better speakers and amps, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. We gotta do something like that. And I remember bringing it out to Nalak, and he's like, yeah, that's cool. And then he's like, yeah. A couple of months or a year after, he went to a studio full of Focal speakers that they were recording music on Dolby Atmos, and then he heard it and called me back. He's like, dude, we need this in a car. We need to do this for next year MasterTech. And I'm like, okay.
So explain to me what you have in here. Powers, speakers, there's like the things in the ceiling and all around. So what do we got? What are we looking at?
For the guys that are used to home audio, we have a 7.1.4 configuration.
7.1.4?
Yes, which means we have 7 bass channels, because on Atmos you have channels on the floor and you have also channels on the roof. Versus our traditional left and right array, here we have left and right, and we have the side speakers, and then we have speakers on surround all on the floor, and then we have speakers on the ceiling as well.
So let's talk about what we have.
What we have here in the front stage is a typical BMW configuration, 8-inch woofers under the seat, 4-inch mids on the doors, factory locations, and we added tweeters on these sail panels that we fabricated to mimic the stock sail panel location of another BMW.
Bigger tweeter.
It's not, we didn't fabricate the panel because if we could fit a bigger tweeter. It's more because every BMW from 07 and up, other than this particular one, has an excellent tweeter location.
Right.
And I had to buy the car with a bad tweeter location, so we just moved it. Yeah. So we just moved it to the decent or regular BMW speaker location. And we're using all Gladen speakers. We're using their new Fit series, which is a universal driver that you can design your own adapter on a 3D printer, or you can print your own spacer and make it basically fit on multiple cars. So we're using the 8-inch universal speakers, 4-inch universal speakers, and Pro 25 tweeters on the front. And the front stage is 8 speakers. It's a 3-way left and right, and it's a 4-inch and a tweeter on the center channel. Then 4 and 5 are the rear doors, which have a 4 and a tweeter each one as well. And the
same as the front?
Same as the front, 4, and we're using the Fit 22 tweeter, the same matching tweeter as the drop-in solution. We're only using a higher end tweeter on the front stage. And then we have 2 more left and right surround on the far back on the D-pillars. On stock locations, this car didn't come with HK sound, but if you buy the X3 with HK, it comes with those locations. So I bought the panels from the dealer and put the speakers in there. Mid and tweeter again over there. 7 tweeters, 7 mid-ranges, and 2 8-inch drivers.
Okay, which is a pretty impressive system to begin with.
It's a lot of speakers, yes. Then we have the 0.1, means it's a subwoofer. It's actually 2 subs, 2 10s on the trunk, but they're running mono, so it's a single channel. And then there's our under the factory floor, and then we have 4 height channels, which is what we normally don't see in a car. Right here is these 4-inch drivers, and we added these grills to the headliner. I can pop them off, they're magnetics.
Oh.
And we're using the new 2-inch widebands from Gladen, which have a locking mechanism. So this is a new 2-inch driver from Gladen that, if you guys can see, it's a flangeless driver. That means it doesn't have no mounting provisions. So they sell it with a ring that you can use, or we just made our own grill to make it look like a stock grill with magnets and a mounting point for the speaker. You align the speaker on the tabs, you click it, and that's it. And then I have an alignment mark on my piece, and it just snaps with magnets.
Very cool.
So we're using 2-inch wide ones on the height speaker, front and also on the rear, which we replicated the factory trim ring at the rear passenger light, and we extended the ring to add a grill here for a 2-inch wide one. We wanted to keep it as OEM looking as possible. It's more of a proof of concept of what could happen or what could come from the factory on a vehicle. So we didn't want to add a 6.5 coaxial on the headliner or something like that. We wanted to keep it stock looking. And
6.5-inch coaxial in the headliner?
It's been done before. You can do it, but we wanted to keep it like a stock looking. Or if you have a car that already has a speaker on the headliner, you could also use that location. Let's say if you have an F-150 with the piano unleashed, they already come with that, so we could use something like that. That's a 0.4.
That's the
front,
0.4.
left and right and rear. Left and right height speakers. So it's a total of 20 speakers and 2 subwoofers, so 22 speakers. Everything's active. Other than the 2 subs that are on a mono amp. Mid, tweeter, front, rear, everything's active.
What are we using for power?
For power, we're using 4 Moscone amps, the 1 series with the built-in DSP. We have 2 8 channels. One of them is bridge for the front, left, and right. It's bridge for the mid bass into a 6 channel, and then we have the 4 and tweeter on the remaining channels. We have a 6 channel doing the center and the rear doors, and we have another 8 channel doing the rear surround, mid, and tweeter, and the 4 height speakers. And then the mono amp for the 2 subs.
All AV class, with the sub is a D.
The sub is a D, the others are AV with built-in DSP hidden behind the factory quarter panel.
That must have been fun to tune.
Yeah, to tune and to make it fit.
Well, this is definitely one of those first type systems where
we like to call it like the concept car. You know, when you go to a car show and you see a cool car, and if everyone likes it, then the manufacturer is like, okay, we might pursue doing this in the future. Anyone likes it, they throw it to the garbage.
No one likes it. It's just
no, so far I heard it's been great. I heard from a guy yesterday that waited an hour to listen to the car.
Really?
He was sitting there for an hour. I'm like,
well, I feel special. So I guess the next question would be, you know, we listen to stereo and it's left and right.
Correct.
How does Atmos come into that?
So Atmos starts at the recording studio. There is no quote-unquote app mixer where you can grab a left and right signal and convert it into Atmos unless you do that at the recording studio. And the studio has to be certified by Atmos, or it has to be Atmos capable.
So where do we find Atmos tracks?
Apple Music or Tidal is
Really?
where I find them, yes. And the library is getting bigger and bigger. We think one of the main reasons why Atmos will have success is because Apple is really pushing and embracing Atmos, and you know they have a huge clientele.
They do have a huge clientele.
Yeah,
we
like
pretty much
to
take all my money.
We like to think it like, you know, when mono sound started and then everyone became stereo and it was crazy. We like to think that Atmos is the new stereo.
So does this give us a surround feel that a lot of people ask for?
Yes. The way Atmos works is when they do mastering of the song, either whether it's a new song or an old song that they're remastering for Atmos, they like grab the original information from left and right, and they separate what the engineers call objects, which could be the main singer, or could be the backup singers, or could be a guitar or a trumpet or an instrument or some effect on the song, and they can move it around that stage. So you could have the front singer always stay in front of you, playing on the center channel, and then you could have, for example, a banjo playing on behind you, and then you can have trumpets flying through the roof. For example, we've been playing Rocket Man from Elton John a long time, and when you hear the rocket fly, it just goes through the roof and ends on the back of the car.
That's crazy.
While he's still singing in the front. Yeah, it's a pretty unique experience.
This poses the question of how are you guys going to experience it? And there's really no good way for me to do that. So normally at this point I would play an audio track, or we would play some music and, you know, I would let you guys hear. And in conventional 2-channel audio, that makes a lot of sense. In this situation, it really doesn't, because it's a stereo mic and recording the experience, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm actually just going to listen to it and tell you guys what I thought. Hope that doesn't bother too many of you. I know it will. I know. But this isn't a sound quality car that we're mostly doing. This does have an amazing sound quality to it.
Yes.
Let's take a listen, shall we? Well, we're going to listen. You guys. Sorry. All right, so this is Gwen Stefani's Escape that we're listening to right now. And I didn't know how we were going to record this, so this is interesting.
You need a 7.1.4 mic.
Yeah, I do need. Yeah, exactly. I have questions. this song is like I've never heard it before. But it does remind me.
You've heard the song a million times.
I've heard the song a million times, and I have really, really, really nice headphones. Okay, and I have a really nice surround system at home. This has this surround feeling that would be the size of the cabin of a car, which is kind of like if you're ever at home and you leave the surround on where you're listening to 2-channel audio, and it tries to do something but really doesn't. This does it so much better.
Yes, because it's from the studio.
Yeah, but what this reminds me a lot of is those really high-end headphones, like open back headphones that project the sound out and give you this like this thing that in the height is of the instruments is so weird. So she starts singing and she's dead center, and there's all this stuff going on, and then the horns come in, as you would say, and they just it's almost like you feel the guy going like this with the horns, and it's so strange.
Crazy. We should have recorded the reaction of people when they were listening to the car yesterday, because I was sitting like...
Yeah, exactly. I was like, and that's why I was like, hold on, I got to comment on this now, because I won't remember in the end. How difficult was this? How do you even tune this?
Basically the same process that you would do. Luckily where I work, we have a home setup with Atmos. We didn't have it when I did the first car. We have it now, so I have a reference. Because we have a 7.1.4 system at the shop upstairs. But basically you level match all the speakers to the listening position, and you do time alignment so that all the speakers arrive at the same time as where you are. So you play pink noise through the 7 channels at the 7 and then the 4 channels at the same time. And you make sure they all arrive at the same time and at the same intensity.
What about equalization?
Equalization, we use our same curve that we always use.
So is this like a Barney type curve?
Yeah, this is Barney tunes. 3 Barney tunes, 1 for each channel.
Yeah, 3, yeah. Oh, God. Okay, so we're playing Calm Down with Rima and
Selena Gomez.
Yeah, anyways, this song is definitely recorded to emphasize the surround feeling. The song starts out, and there's like... The rear track is a totally separate track from what you're normally listening to. They're not just mimicking the front like in stereo.
Yeah, it's
where
not
you're just
like
level matching and you're doing some weird phase things.
And everything that plays on the front plays on the back. Or you can take the center out and only play the far left.
So this is almost like watching a movie where it's like stuff is going on, but it's music. And there again, I don't know if this is a superior listening style. It's new.
It's different.
It's different. I don't know if I'm gonna like run out and be like, bro, I gotta put Atmos in my car. It's definitely something that we're not used to hearing.
I know.
And I think as time moves forward, this is just gonna be a new way of doing it, because why not? I mean, we've been doing 2-channel audio since forever.
And there are already cars that are coming with this from factory.
Yeah. So. It's so weird. Now this next time what I'm gonna do, because Herman is like, you should be looking at your face while you're doing this because it's so strange, is I'm going to record my face. I'm going to delete the audio because this is highly copywritten stuff. He's laughing over here because like when this thing does it, I'm like, we want you to experience that. Let's go ahead and play the next song. Honky Cat, Elton John. Elton John is standing right there, and he's right
in front of you.
He's in front of me. He's facing me. There's a banjo player chilling out back there, and the trumpet players are high stage. So it's almost like I'm sitting in a chair. Elton John is in the band are around me, standing up. They're playing to me, which is weird.
It's cool.
It's cool. And it's weird. Cool doesn't mean bad, or weird doesn't mean bad. It's just like so... All right, press play. All right, so we're playing Rocket Man by Elton John, and it does. We were commenting on how it starts out very stereo-esque. He's right there. The drummer is sitting directly behind Elton John, and you can hear him tap that cymbal. It's like so spacious because you can hear the cymbal to the right of him, and then when the drums kick in, it's like boom, 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 and they just you can almost. Like if your eyes were closed, you could almost see the drummer moving across the top of the drum, and then like and it's just like it's just, you feel the just like move out. At the beginning, there was one lyric that he has, and he's just like, it's a long lyric, and it's almost like the lyric just kind of like, he says it and it kind of like drifts through the car, and you can hear the last of it in the very rear speaker, and it stops here. It's weird as hell. But then, you know, when it goes and
all the backup guys are on the back. So
yeah, and then it just kind of kicks in, and it's like all of a sudden the cabin just gets like 10 times bigger than it is. And when he goes, I'm a rocket man, and you hear the just move across the ceiling, and you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, Starlight headliner for that song.
Oh
Like
yeah, Starlight headliner would be cool as hell. My thought is this. It is definitely some of the newest tech and audio that we could possibly have right now. It is going to be weird as time moves on. I feel, yes, this is definitely something that, as time moves forward, we'll be doing more and more of. There is no good way to do it right now. That's the easiest way, and you're probably going, well, what is he using to play? Is that what is that, Apple TV? So you have an Apple TV running the system. And don't get me wrong, this is not an easy integration by any stretch of the imagination. This is what we do for a living, and I think on a consumer level, this would be very difficult to...
I mean, the appropriate shop can make it happen.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as usability goes, it's not like you just put it in a hit track up and down.
No, this is the first prototype.
Not saying that without the right amount of money, you would be happy to install in somebody's car.
Yes, 100%.
I like it, but I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's like a bunch of people are telling me, oh, we're used to these cars that they do this left minus right or cross mix, or they are doing this spatial effect. And I'm like, dude, like it's nothing to, you gotta listen to it. It's a different experience.
It's totally a different experience. This was wild. This is one of the wildest things I've ever heard. But with that, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you, Haman, for giving me this demo.
Thank you, guys.
We have a busy day ahead of us. This has been Master Tech Expo 2024. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later next time. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.